This lesson is the last of 3 on the Inertial Reference System or IRS. Previously, we said that there were 3 main characteristics which define what we now call an IRS, which make it recognizably different from a first-generation standalone INS. These were greater system integration, the use of ring laser gyros, and much greater computer power. This lesson looks at how that greater computing power is used to relate our measurement axis to the horizontal and to directions on the Earth. The lesson also brings together points from all 3 IRS lessons. The laser gyro can measure our aircraft's changes of orientation very accurately. But we still need a reference date and for our basic directions, longitudinal, lateral and normal. We do not have a stable platform with IRS. Our accelerometers are pointing in the direction of the airframe. However, for our velocities to be useful to us, we need them in terms of north, east and vertical. This situation is resolved by making use of the great increase in computer power, which has become available in the last 30 years. We can construct a mathematical model to solve the problem. The technique is called axis transformation. Imagine our aircraft in some particular flight attitude. And here is some point in 3-dimensional space which we wish to define. It can be defined by the coordinates x1, y1 and z1. Now imagine that the aircraft pictures, rolls, and yaws. The point in space has not moved but the reference axis have. It is now defined by a new set of coordinates, x2, y2 and z2. The mathematics of converting from one frame of reference to another is called axis transformation. The advent of powerful rapid computers makes it possible to carry out these transforms so quickly and frequently that the system is effectively working in real time. The computer makes use of the technique of matrix algebra, which handles these many complex equations very rapidly. With our computer, we no longer need a platform. We can have the gyros and accelerometers attached to the airframe and maneuvering with it. The task of the platform servos in the older INS is now carried out by algebraic matrix transformation in the IRS. One of the weaknesses of the INS platform servos was the failure rate resulting from their mechanical complexity. With the IRS, however, there is very little to go wrong. We simply have light passing through glass and microvoltages in an integrated circuit. Consequently, failures are extremely rare. This is often expressed as the IRS having a longer life cycle. In the maintenance world, this is called the mean time between failures or MTBF, and it is costed. Ring laser gyros are subject to the same laws of gyrodynamics as the older tuned rotor gyros, and therefore need to have the same corrections applied to them. As we said in an earlier lesson, these are Earth rate, transport wander, Coriolis and central acceleration. The equations for all of these are known, and therefore mathematical calculation of them has been built into the computer model, along with the corrections for aircraft maneuvers. The correction for the vertical component of transport wander means that the mathematical model is Chula-tuned. And even though it is nothing more than a series of equations, it has exactly the same effect on the attitude output as the older form of mechanical Chula tuning. We therefore have the same problem that, if the initial horizontal datum is not exactly level, we will get Chula errors. The use of a mathematical model does not avoid the errors associated with INS. We simply model them in the computer. The axis transformation system needs to establish the horizontal level and the direction of true north, just as the platform in INS did. Here is an INS-equipped aircraft with a platform parked on sloping ground. Here is its longitudinal axis. During the leveling phase of alignment, the platform and the accelerometer mounted on it would be driven down to the horizontal. With IRS, the accelerometer stays in its fixed position, but the axis transformation system can establish the angle between the accelerometer's axis and the horizontal. The computer remembers this and uses it as the initial datum. The same process is carried out for the initial lateral leveling error. Once the system has been correctly leveled and earth-ray corrections for the correct latitude applied, any remaining error can only come from incorrect alignment with true north. By analyzing the residual forces, the computer's axis transformation system can establish the direction of the Earth's spin and therefore find true north. This process of finding the difference between the longitudinal, lateral and normal axis and the directions of north, east and vertical is sometimes referred to as establishing the trihedron. The whole process is simply the IRS equivalent of leveling and aligning the platform in INS. A trihedron is the meeting point of three planes at right angles to each other. We are now going to compile a list of the main differences between INS and IRS. We have mentioned most of these before during this series of 3 lessons, but some will be new. INS gyro drift is low because of the high-quality engineering used in its manufacture. What there is comes from gimbal friction and mass imbalance. The gyro drift from IRS is even lower. It arises from laser noise caused by imperfect silvering of the mirrors. INS accuracy is generally good. Position error growth rates of 1 to 2 nautical miles per hour are typical. IRS accuracy is better. It is difficult to put a figure on it because the output is invariably fed into a flight management system and processed further. But the raw IRS position error growth rate is probably about half a mile an hour or better. IRS suffers from the specific problem of laser lock which the INS does not have. However, the lock is overcome by the incorporation of the piezoelectric dither motor. There are 3 rate integrating gyros in INS and they are mounted on a stabilized platform. The IRS has 3 strap-down ring laser gyros. There are 2 accelerometers in INS mounted on a gyro-stabilized platform which keeps them pointing north and east. The IRS has 3 strap-down accelerometers fixed in the longitudinal, lateral and normal planes. The horizontal and vertical datums in INS are maintained by a gyro-stabilized platform. Whilst in IRS this is achieved by algebraic matrix transformation in a mathematical model. Accelerations are integrated into velocities and velocities into distances in both INS and IRS. There is a difference in the way that INS and IRS deal with gravity. In INS it is assumed to be 1g everywhere. The superior memory capacity of IRS allows us to have a database which stores small differences in the local value of gravity. In both INS and IRS, the gyros are fundamentally space gyros and therefore corrections for Earth rate and transport wonder have to be computed and applied. However, this is achieved by platform talking in the INS and algebraic matrix transformation in the IRS. Scalar tuning is used in both systems and therefore scalar errors occur in both. Alignment in INS is carried out by means of gyrocomposing, that is sensing the direction of east from Earth rate and then talking the platform until no further Earth rate can be detected. The platform must then be pointing north. Alignment by gyrocomposing also takes place in IRS but by algebraic matrix transformation. It is alternatively known as establishing the trihedron. When entering initial position prior to alignment of fins, it is essential that the latitude is as correct as possible. Any error will degrade the accuracy of the alignment. However, longitude is not used and longitude error does not affect alignment accuracy. By contrast, IRS has a non-volatile memory. It remembers its last position prior to the previous shutdown. If there is any significant difference between that last position and the new position entered by the pilot on startup, either in latitude or longitude, an error message is generated. A correct latitude and longitude are both required for alignment to commence. The alignment time for INS is about 17 minutes at temperate and low latitudes. About 3 minutes of this is caging. 3 minutes is leveling and gyro composing takes about 11 minutes. IRS aligns more rapidly. About 10 minutes at temperate and low latitudes is normal. One of the reasons for the shorter alignment of IRS is that mechanical caging of tuned rotor gyros during startup takes about 3 minutes. No caging is required for the ring laser gyro and typically the lasers fire up in less than a second. The construction of the INS platform servos is mechanically complex. They therefore had a shorter mean time between failures. The laser gyros used in IRS are mechanically simpler and highly reliable. Consequently, they have a longer life cycle. Tuned rotor gyros have mass and experience gimbal friction. Consequently, they are sensitive to aircraft maneuvers and G-forces. Maneuvering and G have little or no effect on the accuracy of ring laser gyros. Dynamic range means that the system is sensitive and accurate when dealing with both small and large accelerations. The IRS sensors perform better at both ends of the scale. Let's summarize the main points from this lesson. There is no gyro-stabilized platform in IRS. Instead, the gyros and accelerometers are fixed to the longitudinal, lateral and normal axis of the aircraft and they maneuver with it. This is known as a strap-down system. Conversion of longitudinal, lateral and normal axis of the aircraft into the directions of north, east and earth vertical is carried out by process of mathematical modeling known as axis transformation. Ring laser gyros are subject to the normal laws of gyrodynamics and therefore need to be corrected for earth rate and transport wonder. Use of a strap-down system does not avoid the errors associated with INS. We then compile the list of the similarities and differences between IN and IRS, showing that in general, IRS is a more accurate, more robust and more reliable system. That concludes these lessons on IRS. Later lessons will go on to show how the IRS is used in the flight management system.